Olá, o Séries da TV teve o prazer de estar à conversa com parte do elenco e com uma das mentes por trás de I Know What You Did Last Summer, que vai estrear na Amazon Prime no próximo dia 15 de outubro. Curiosos? Então acompanhem as próximas conversas.
Graduation.
I told you I was going. I had to drive a dad.
I'm so insecure.
This party is about to get nuts.
I love this song.
I'm here with the OGs. I need a burrito.
This cannot be happening.
No one will really know what we did.
Hi, Ezekiel, Ashley, I'm Raul. My question for you both is in a TV show that lives from the thriller and suspense at the end of every episode, did you know from the start everything or almost everything that happened to your character throughout the season one? Or were you just finding out before shooting the next episode?
We in the beginning got the first 6 episodes, and that's when like everything gets so juicy, and we didn't even know going into it when we had the first 6 episodes who the killer even was. So after that, that's when we start to find out more after the first 6.
What do you think that as a TV show you can give to the audience that as a movies you can't explore that much?
It's hard to say that. I think that an answer that makes a lot of sense is that you get to spend a lot more time with the characters and develop them psychologically. I think that there are obviously movies that do that really well as well, but I think what's unique about our show is that within horror, I think that you can very easily be, story can be very easily plot driven or scare driven or about, you're being chased and that's the whole movie, right? And we have the privilege of being able to build a psychological suspense within our characters as well as having a suspenseful plot.
Yeah, and just being able to focus more on like each character's story that they don't really do in the film. So
do you have any kind of creative space to bring your character to life, or did Sarah and the rest of the crew gave you like strict guidelines as you have to play like this, he has to have this kind of personality?
No, I think we were able to bring our own, flavor to our characters, and they trusted us with that. So, we were able to play and, do all kinds of things. Right, Zeke?
Yeah. I would hope that I wouldn't be in a situation where anybody's telling me what I have to do to bring my character to life. It's a collaboration.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they definitely gave us that freedom to play.
Yeah, they also cast all of us for a reason, right?
Hi. First, for Brianne, what was the most challenging part of bringing your character to life? And then for Madison, as you already approached the playing 2 roles, I was just wondering if it was ever confusing or tricky to keep track of who you were supposed to be and which personality you had to play.
So the most challenging part of bringing Margot to life, I think, there were 2. The social media aspect. She's an influencer. I have an Instagram. I no longer have TikTok, Facebook, I no longer have Twitter and Facebook, but I had also never been on TikTok before this show. And, I knew it was something that had to be part of my preparation and my research. And so learning about that and how expansive the world is and all of the trends and how quickly things move, like that was definitely, it was enjoyable at times, but it was definitely a challenge. And learning the slang, that's hard. But also creating all of these layers within Margot and making them feel authentic. There are a lot of times where it's easy to go with what's shocking and tantalizing, but at the end of the day, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to come from honesty and truth, and what was her truth was a big part of my preparation. I had to decide who she was, where she came from, and why she is the way she is.
Yeah, Brianne and I had to learn TikTok dances. That was
the most challenging part.
Honestly, though, but we killed it. We did so good. But it took us maybe like 3 or 4 rehearsals to get there. But
we still know it now.
Yeah, I know it on the back of my head. I feel like anytime I have to do like a dance, we can do it right now. We shouldn't do it.
Never go away.
Allison is so complex, and obviously like everything that comes with later on in the show, it definitely got tricky at times, but I feel like anytime I started to lose myself or like where I was in the scene, we had our showrunner, Sarah Goodman, who was always there. And I was like, hey, you know, like, where am I here? How does this fit in? Especially because we weren't given the context of what happened after those 4 episodes. So it definitely was like a tricky place to navigate, but it was almost very fitting because all of these characters are all kind of trying to figure out who they are and where they are in this world and everything that's happening, and everything feels so overwhelming. So yes, it was definitely a balance of just like give and take of like what was too much, what was too little, and where she was in those specific moments. But I felt like I lost my mind, you know, at some times. Definitely.
Hi, Sarah. I'm Raul from Portugal. My question is, you already said that you try to make a more modern version of the movie franchise, but why change it to a TV show? What do you think that you can take as a TV show that as a movies you can't?
I think there's 2 parts to that. The first of which is I did really love the movie, so I wouldn't want to remake it as a movie. And the second part is I think, first of all, I love TV. And I think doing 8 episodes gives you a chance to tell a different kind of story where you can really go into the characters and the mysteries that they have, as well as the mystery of who's after them. It gives you a chance to know what they came into the accident with. It gives you a chance to look at what the effects on them and their relationships are after, that you don't have time in an hour and a half to really explore. You know, you only have one mystery in a movie like that, and they're on the run. And this is much more, you know, about what happens to them and their relationships and what it's done to them.
Sarah, in the previous roundtables, all of the actors spoke highly of you and your close work with them. Would you comment on your relationship with them, since especially some of them were very new to TV shows? If you acted more than a writer, also as a sort of mentor, because of all of your experience?
Yeah, I you know, in television, the showrunner is the boss of everybody. So you really are playing a dual role in terms of being the writer and the showrunner, or I'm playing that dual role. And I definitely felt and feel a responsibility to all of those actors, to have been there for them, to help them, to give them permission to go and do things that they had not done before, and make it feel safe for them, and to empower them within the characters. I felt like that was very important, and that they understood that I trusted them and had expectations of them. And yeah, I feel very protective of them, and I feel very like maternally proud of them, of what they did, you know, in very difficult circumstances. And I felt like it was my job to be there for them in terms of who their characters were, why they were doing things, how the best way for them to find those things were, and you know, and to give them the boundaries that they needed for that as well. But they were just so, I can't tell you how impressed I was by them. They just